Now we will begin our session. Hello everyone. Myself Ishan Jain. I am a third year computer science student at JIIT 128 and your speaker for the today's session. Without further ado, let's begin our today's session. So, guys, have you ever wondered how we can stream our favorite movies, web shows on Netflix without any hindrance, or how we can groove on a favorite music using Spotify, how we get 15 GB of storage with every Gmail account, and where our data is stored, like these types of question. If you ever wondered these questions, then answer to these questions is just cloud computing. Now, what is cloud computing? First, let me give you a vague idea about cloud computing. So, we will break the term first. Now, in cloud computing, cloud is just a metaphor for internet, and computing means use of or operations on computer. Yes, the use of computers over the internet. That means you don't have to buy hardware according to your workload. What do you mean by that? For example, if you want to perform any GPU extensive workload beyond your hardware capabilities, it can be easily done using cloud on that hardware with a proper internet connection. Now, cloud computing is actually based on virtualization. What virtualization do is that it emulates all functions of real computers and its CPU in a virtual machine. I guess you guys are familiar with what is virtual machine. Still, I give you a brief definition of what is a virtual machine. A virtual machine is a compute resource that uses software instead of a physical computer to run programs and deploy apps. Now, if we look at the technical definition, cloud computing is the on-demand delivery of IT resources over the internet with pay-as-you-go pricing. Like I told you guys earlier, it is an on-demand IT resources. Now, what are the IT resources? It can be your database, it can be your compute engine, or it can be your virtual machine. With pay-as-you-go pricing, what do you mean by pay-as-you-go pricing? Pay-as-you-go pricing means that what you will pay for only resources that you use. Instead of buying and owning and maintaining physical data centers and servers, you can access the technology service such as computing power, storage, and databases on an as need basis for a cloud from a cloud provider. This is what cloud computing is. Now you guys might wonder, what are the cloud computing models? There are three types of cloud models: public, private, and hybrid. Public cloud model is owned by cloud services or hosting providers. You can access public cloud services over the internet like GCP, Azure, or AWS. An individual with an internet connection can access to these platforms. Now, what is private? Private organizations that create their own cloud environment in their data center are called private cloud model. For example, if you are part of an organization so that you can access their data from around the globe, then it is a private based cloud model. Now, what is hybrid? Hybrid combines public and private clouds to allow applications to run in most appropriate locations. Now, think of this as you are part of an organization that organizes its resources on Google Cloud Platform, which means your data is accessible to only the members of that corporation, but still it is organized on a public Google, public cloud provider, that is GCP. So that is hybrid for you. Now, what are the services that are provided by the cloud providers? There are basically three major services which are provided by any cloud service providers. First, it is infrastructure as a service. Now, What is infrastructure as a service? For a vague idea or a 10,000 over feet, infrastructure as a service is like you want a server, or you want a virtual machine on the internet. Now, as per the definition, infrastructure as a service is a system of cloud computing that delivers virtualized computing resources over the internet. IaaS quickly, in short form, we call it IaaS. IaaS quickly scales up and down with demand and helps to avoid the need of to procure physical servers and other data centers infrastructure. Now, what does that mean? Suppose your application is running fine. Suddenly, there is a huge your application got hit, and your request number of requests rose to like from 1,000 to 10,000. So instead of procuring or buying a physical server, you can scale up your applications with a snap of fingers using infrastructure as a service. A cloud computing service provider manages the infrastructure, while the user installs, configures, and manages software including application, middleware, and operating system. It is the responsibility of cloud service provider to manage all the hardware of your virtual machine. You just have to worry about what operating system do you need, how many GPUs do you need, or what type of softwares do you want to run on your application. Now, second type of services that are provided by cloud providers are platform as a service. Platform as a service is a complete development and deployment environment in the cloud, with resources that enables you to deliver everything from simple cloud-based apps to sophisticated cloud-enabled enterprise application. Now, what does that mean? In infrastructure as a service, you are responsible for managing your operating systems, your servers, your networks. But in platform as a service, you are free from that too. You don't need to check whether what is on what operating system your application is running, what are the networks, what are the network configurations. A platform as a service also provides auto scaling, just like infrastructure as a service. So you can consider that platform as a service as a superset of infrastructure as a service. You get all the benefits of infrastructure as a service in platform as a service, but you cannot configure what OS on your application is running or networking. Containerized applications are also run on platform as a service. You may have heard about monolithic and microservices based applications. Usually, microservices are often run on platform as a service because they provide cluster orchestration. There is also known as Kubernetes. If you heard of Docker, which helps you to run your microservices, that's you can also run containerized applications on platform as a services using Kubernetes applications in cloud service providers. Each cloud service providers has its own Kubernetes. Like for Google Cloud, you have Google Kubernetes engine. For Azure, you have Azure Kubernetes instances. The only difference is that in the name. Rest all is same. Now, third service that are provided by cloud providers is software as a service. Software as a service is a way of delivering application over the internet. As a service, instead of installing and maintaining software, you simply access it via internet, freeing yourself from complex software and hardware management. I believe you all guys have used Office 365. That is an example of software as a service. You create your web. You create. If you guys know, in Office 365, there are more than hundreds of applications. So that is an example of software as a service. SaaS applications are sometimes called web-based software on-demand software or hosted softwares. What are the name? SaaS applications runs on SaaS provider server. The provider manage access to the application, including security, availability, and performance. Now, there is a concept of serverless computing in cloud, which you guys don't need to worry about now. Now, you guys might be wondering, what are these, like service as a software as a service, or infrastructure as a service, or like what is platform as a service? So the basic idea behind these are something as a service. Now, what do you mean by something as a service? Which something as a service means you don't own that thing. Like, we don't own any infrastructure, but someone else own it. Like, Google owns a server, and you get and you get benefit from it as a service. I host my application on that service. That's the benefit I get from it. You are not control of how it is delivered. Like, I don't have to manage how I don't have to manage its power supply, its maintenance, or anything like that. Just pay as you go. You will pay for the service that you are using. Just that simple. You don't have to look for what is running behind it, what is happening. Like, do we need to purchase new software, do we need to purchase new data center, or nothing. You have to worry about nothing. You just go on the dashboard, or reallocate or allocate your resources and run your application without any hindrance. You can auto scale your applications. You can decrease the latency just with a click, just with a snap of finger, like Thanos. It is simple as that. If you guys have any questions till now, you guys can ask if there is any question or any doubt. Will it require any prior knowledge? No, you will not require a prior knowledge to if you want to learn cloud computing. Yes, we will. Okay, uh, now you guys want to know what is the difference between IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. Okay, so here is a brief differentiation between all of these services. For example, if you run your application on your own private cloud, you have to look out for all these things. You have to manage your storage, your networking, your compute, your virtual machine, your operating system, your runtime. Everything need to be managed by you. But if you use cloud computing and took infrastructure as a service, then compute, networking, and storage will be managed by the cloud service provider. You don't need to manage your application. You just have to look out for your operating system. On what operating system do you want to run? What will be your runtime, your application, and your data, and who can access that data. Now, if you use platform as a service in Google, in cloud computing or cloud service providers, they then you don't have to take care even of operating system, even of virtual machine or runtime. You just have to look out for your application, your data, and who can access it. Now, if we go for software as a service, you don't even don't look out for your applications. Like, you don't need to worry about your code even. So you just have to look out for your data and who can access it. That is a brief differentiation between infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service, and private cloud. In private cloud, you are responsible for your application, your hardware, your network, your security, everything. Even auto scaling, you have to do it on your own. In in infrastructure as a service or PaaS or SaaS, you don't have to worry about auto scaling at all. And these services are very low, provide very low latency with high SLAs. What are SLAs? SLAs are service level agreements. We will talk about SLAs furthermore. So, any doubt? Which is more, which is most reliable one? Look, although all the three are reliable one, it totally depends on your application and your requirements. Just like I said, if you want to control over your operating system, like you want to control on what operating system my application should run on, then you have to go for infrastructure as a service, because you cannot decide your operating system in neither in platform as a service nor in software as a service. And if you don't want to write any code, you want us just to make your data and want to see who can access that data, then you have to go for software as a service, because in platform as a service and infrastructure you have to write your own code. So that totally depends on our requirement, that what kind of service do we need. The three things that are common in IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS are compute, networking, and storage. So these three will be taken care in all the three platforms. Any further questions? I think if there is no question, then we should move on. Now, the question arises, why to choose cloud computing over traditional computing? First, pay structure. A utility pay structure means user only pay for the resources they use, follow consumption based and economies of scale. Now, what is consumption based model? Consumption based model means that you have to pay for the resources that you require. Like if my workload, if I need a storage of 1 terabyte, so why should I buy a hard, and I don't know whether my application will grow or will be a success or not? Then why should I buy a higher hard disk to store my data? I can only rent it, so that I can save my I can save my expenditure, capital expenditure. Capital expenditure means you don't have to buy. Capital expenditure means you resources that you purchase. Okay, scalability. Cloud infrastructure scales on demand to support fluctuating workload. As I told you guys earlier, for example, if your application is receiving like 1,000 requests now, and suddenly your application become success. Now it is getting tens of thousands of requests. Then cloud service providers will automatically scale your application, so that so that the latency will be decreased. Now, second is availability. Availability is a quality of computing infrastructure that is important for mission critical systems. Now, what is availability in general? Availability in general means how much your application is available at any point of time. We all use YouTube, we all use Netflix. Have you ever faced downtime of like hours, of many hours, or of even days? No. All the application that runs on cloud service providers are highly available. Earlier I mentioned about SLAs. SLAs are service level agreement. What are the service level agreements? In general, service level agreement ensures that how much downtime or downtime your application which is running on cloud computing can face. Even for free services, cloud service providers provides 99.95% SLAs. 99.95% SLAs are very high and are very difficult to achieve. What does that 99.95% means? It means for a month, for a span of 1 month, your application can be maximum down to 10 minutes per month. Like if you have 4 nines SLA, that is 99.99 SLA, your application can be down to maximum 4 minutes in a month. And believe me, guys, this is very difficult to achieve. Google Cloud Platform even provides 11 nines of SLAs. That is 99.99999 percent of SLA. That reduces to around 30 seconds of downtime per month. And you can observe that also. We uh, we we do not face any type of downtime in our Drive or YouTube. We billions of users are using like billions of users are using YouTube simultaneously at a single point of time. But still, YouTube is never down for like hours. Sometimes it may be down due to some glitches or technical error, but still billions of users are using and no downtime. Now, what is agility? Agility is consider your application is running in USA region, and suddenly your traffic is your most of the traffic is coming from South Asia region, that is from India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, China, Sri Lanka. So it may increase the latency in your application. But in cloud computing, you can reallocate your resource from USA region to South Asia region. In reallocation, you will reduce the latency by significant numbers. So that means agility. Now, resilience. Resilience means, what if the data the in the region where data center of cloud service provider is located and some natural disaster occurs, like a earthquake or like power down or a blackout? What will happen to your application? That is called resiliency. In cloud computing, cloud service providers ensure high resiliency by copying your resources to another data center in times of natural disaster. So if that data center is down, then your application will be automatically reallocated to nearest data center where there is no where everything is running perfectly fine. So highly resilient. Now, another uh, another benefit of using cloud computing is flexibility. In my opinion, flexibility is one of the best benefits you can get from cloud computing. What do you mean by flexibility? What in this related to cloud computing? There are many cloud service providers across, like there are many cloud service providers like AWS, GCP, Azure. So what if I want compute services from the AWS, storage from Azure, and analytics from GCP? Like the best of their applications, best of their services from each of the service provider. That is the flexibility. You have no bound to use a single cloud service provider to run your application. You can run your application with using multiple cloud service providers. That is the best benefit I think a cloud computing can provide. There are also many better feature uh, pros of using cloud computing, like your application is highly secure. All the data in the cloud servers are stored using cryptographic keys, so your data is highly secure, highly safe. You can also back up your data, like just I mentioned in case of resiliency. So these are the benefits of using cloud computing over traditional computing. In traditional computing, suppose if your server is down, then your whole application is down. You can't do anything. So that is the most best use case for cloud computing. And yes, of course, you save your money, because you don't have to do any capital expenditures. You can save your money to uh, to increase your operational expenditures. Operational expenditure means pay ऑपरेशनल एक्सपेंडिचर मीन्स मतलब कि आपको कोई इंफ्रा नहीं खरीदना है, सिर्फ सर्विस लेनी है और आपको सर्विस का यूज करना है. सो दैट इज कॉल्ड ऑपरेशनल एक्सपेंडिचर्स. Now, there are top three players in the game are AWS, Azure, and our own Google Cloud. AWS is the oldest cloud service provider in the market, and it is the biggest cloud service provider till now. The market capitalization of AWS is around 30 to 31%. The second comes in is Azure. Azure is provided by Microsoft and holds the second place after AWS. AWS, according to Canalys report, Microsoft's Azure among IaaS is highest. It is 20%. Now we have our own Google Cloud platform. Initially, Google Cloud was not for third parties, means it was not public cloud initially. Google built this for its own use because they have billions of users. Like they hosted the first four services on Google Cloud, like YouTube. Your Drive was first hosted. Your Gmail, which is now your and your G Suite, are first hosted on Google Cloud platform. After 2011, Google Cloud became a public cloud, which which is now growing at a seamless rate. It has 7% market capitalization market capture. In addition to that, they have also many big partners with them, like Spotify, Airbnb. You have heard of Airbnb. Many defense companies are on it. Recently, Tech Mahindra and Airtel also partnered with GCP to provide better solutions to their customers, so that they can scale their application, so that they can provide better compute services and scale their business. Now, you guys, first of all, if any guy have any question, do you guys have any question? What about IBM Cloud? Yes, there are many cloud service provider. As I mentioned earlier, there is IBM, Alibaba. Uh, I believe some people may also use iPhone here. So in Apple, there is Apple Cloud. Okay, Apple Cloud is completely hosted on Google Cloud. So sometimes companies use these three major players and create a division from it, like a subsidiary. So yeah, Apple Cloud is exclusively available only for Apple users, but it is completely hosted on GCP. Apple Cloud is completely hosted on Google Cloud platform. So do you guys have any questions? Okay, so I believe no questions. Yeah, that's what I mentioned earlier. Apple has its own cloud, Apple Cloud, but that Apple Cloud is completely hosted on Google Cloud. If you get my point. Okay. So no, but GCP came after Apple. Yeah. So uh, it's like initially they have their own resources, but after they are all just what I mentioned earlier, scalability and availability. They shifted their data from their own cloud to GCP. इसको ऐसे भी कंसिडर कर सकते हो कि नेटफ्लिक्स है, नेटफ्लिक्स बहुत पहले था इन कंपैरिजन टू AWS, but now Netflix is completely hosted on AWS. Are you getting my point, Harshit? Okay. Any other questions? Cloud computing is in any semester? I believe not. I believe cloud computing is not in our syllabus. Yes, that's what I told you guys. AWS has the biggest market capitalization. Before GCP, or like till 2014, even after GCP, its market capitalization was 40%. So how we can create our own cloud space? Uh, Ananya, what are you trying to ask? Like, for what? For storing data, like for storage, for compute? How? What are you trying to? I didn't get your question. Okay, so storage, for storage, you have heard about NAS, network attached storage. Well, that's a completely different topic. But if you want to like your create your own cloud space, then you can attach your hard drive to your Wi-Fi, to a router, and you can host it online. If you are getting my point, that's called network NAS, network attached storage. If I am correct. Okay, from Kanav we have, sir, but why they shifted like Apple to Google and Netflix to AWS? So you are asking why they shifted to cloud platform, or you are asking like why Netflix chose AWS or Apple chose Google? Why they choose? Yes, what they choose? Kanav, I am sorry that I didn't get your question, but okay. Uh, what is the best resource to learn about cloud computing? Uh, we are on it. Just give me 5 minutes. I will tell you guys. So why Netflix choose AWS and Apple choose Google? Okay, so that totally depends on customer. Like if I am like if you ask me, first of all, it totally depends on like what customer needs. Some I will not say Google Cloud is good at everything. Like they have the best compute, best networking, best data analytics, or neither the AWS has best of all the services. Neither Azure. No cloud provider can say you that they have all their best services. So it totally depends on customers' need on what they want to host. ओके, सो अगर मेरे को मतलब कोई रिसोर्सेज हैं, जो मैंने फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी की पहले बात की कि फ्लेक्सिबल होना, कि आपको AWS का कुछ अच्छा लग रहा है, कि आपने देखा कि AWS का मेरे को जैसे AWS पुराना है, तो ऑफिस तो ऑफ कोर्स उसके डेटा सिस्टम्स ज़्यादा है, मतलब उसका डेटा सेंटर्स ज़्यादा है, मतलब इन इंडिया वो ज़्यादा फैला हुआ है। तो अगर मेरा वो है तो मैं अपने एप्लीकेशन के अकॉर्डिंग ही चूज करूंगा कि मेरे को किसके साथ जाना चाहिए। लाइक डेटा एनालिटिक्स के लिए गूगल क्लाउड प्लेटफॉर्म वन ऑफ द बेस्ट है, ठीक है। बेस्ट डेटा एनालिटिक्स होता है, फास्ट होता है, सब चीज़ बढ़िया होती है, तो मैं गूगल क्लाउड के लिए जाऊंगा। अगर मेरे को नेटवर्किंग चाहिए या फिर गवर्नमेंट होती है, जैसे कई सारी गवर्नमेंट्स होती हैं जो अपना डेटा स्टोर करवाती हैं, ठीक है, तो मैं एज्योर के लिए जाऊंगा, क्योंकि एज्योर में एक स्पेशल फीचर होता है एज्योर गवर्नमेंट करके। तो एज्योर गवर्नमेंट होता ही गवर्नमेंट्स के लिए। इवन FBI का डेटा जो होता है वो एज्योर पे होस्टेड है। ओके, नाउ नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, इन दिस क्लाउड space, what exactly happens to the data, how is it stored and retrieved for use? Okay, so I can tell you about how data is stored in Google Cloud, because each cloud service provider use different techniques, different methods to store the data. Actually, I would like to ask Ananya's and Parth question together. How safe is our cloud for storage purpose? डेटा इंक्रिप्शन, आई गेस सबने सुना होगा कि डेटा इंक्रिप्शन होता है यूजिंग क्रिप्टोग्राफी। क्रिप्टोग्राफी सबने सुना होगा। क्रिप्टोग्राफी दो तरीके से होती है, सिमेट्रिक एंड असिमेट्रिक। इन सिमेट्रिक क्रिप्टोग्राफी, same key is used to encrypt and decrypt, and in asymmetric, different keys are used to encrypt and decrypt. So in Google Cloud, what happens, there are three types by which you can encrypt your data. Data encryption is a completely different topic, so I can't explain you data encryption right now. So in Google, there is a service called KMS. The KMS service is used to store your data or to encrypt your data. Now, if you want that Google encrypts your data, it can be done. You can use Google applied encryption key. Okay. Now you say, I don't trust Google. I would like to create my own key. So you can create your own encryption key to encrypt your data. Now, if you think that no, I don't neither I don't Google or neither I do trust their keys, so you can encrypt your data on your own and store that key in Google Cloud so that you can access your data later. So there are three ways. Either you ask Google to encrypt your data. By default, this is the by default Google already encrypts your data if you are storing your data there. But if you don't trust Google, you can say that I would like to create my own key. Then you can create your own key and encrypt your data. If you want to apply uh, an encryption key from third party, you can do that too. And this is last thing is that if you want कि मैं पहले अपना डेटा इनक्रिप्ट कर लूं, मैं अपना डेटा इनक्रिप्ट कर लेता हूं, उसके बाद मैं गूगल में वहां करूँ स्टोर करूंगा, तो आप ये भी कर सकते हो। बट इस केस में गूगल की कोई रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं होती। आपके डेटा की मैनेजमेंट, की स्टोरिंग, वो सब आपको खुद करना होता है। अगर आपने इनक्रिप्ट किया डेटा और आपने स्टोरेज में अपलोड किया, तो डेटा जो डेटा है, इनक्रिप्टेड डेटा है, गूगल उसको ऑटोमेटिकली अपने गूगल KMS से उसको फिर इनक्रिप्ट करता है। सो कई लोग होते हैं जो लोग मतलब कई ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस होती हैं जिनका क्रिटिकल डेटा होता है, लाइक इफ यू हैव गवर्नमेंट डेटा और लाइक डिफेंस कंपनी स्टोर देयर लाइक डेटा ऑन गूगल क्लाउड, सो दे कैन डू दैट टू। लाइक provide your own keys or encrypt your data on your own, take your key. These are मतलब flexibility होती है कि आपके पास आपको अपना डेटा कैसे बचाना है. Which of these services is most affordable? It actually depends on your workloads, on on how much on how on how resources you need. Like if your instance you like need 10 instances, how do you need networking, like static IP addresses. So it totally depends on your workloads and your resources, what you allocate your resources. Is there any advantage in data encryption, encrypting the data when uploading it? uh, it totally depends on user again. If he doesn't look but have you ever heard like data is breached in Google, someone like not about selling the data or not in that manner, but so it's like a extra workload for you to encrypt your own data and manage the key, encryption key. Okay guys, so now we will move further. Now, like many students asked, how to get started with cloud journey, how to learn cloud computing. Well, every year Google Cloud platform organizes career readiness program, and in which there is a program called 30 days of Google Cloud. Now what is 30 days of Google Cloud? 30 days of Google In 30 days of Google Cloud, you have to complete some quick labs. Quick labs provides you a virtual environment, so you can see how your application, how your console looks like, your like how your GCP consoles look like. Now first of all, I would like to show you guys that how much easy it is to host a website on Google Cloud. Is my screen visible to you guys? Is it visible? Okay, okay. Is it visible now? I guess yes.
Welcome to Get Cooking in Cloud, where we share the best recipes to apply in your cloud kitchen. I am Priyanka Vergadia, and in this episode, we will talk about creating static websites on Google Cloud. Let's say you're a small company looking to set up a basic web presence. You don't expect a lot of traffic and don't want to pay a lot to get up and online. So let's walk through how to start small, deploying a static website. Static web pages can contain client-side technologies such as HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. They cannot contain dynamic content such as server-side scripts like PHP. Before you begin, make sure that you have a Google Cloud project created, a billing account set up, and you have a domain that you own or manage. This should be your top level domain. To verify that you manage the domain, check the link in the description below. Now that you've covered the logistics, there are 4 steps to set up static websites. The first step is to connect your domain to Google Cloud Storage. To do that, create a CNAME record that points to c.storage.googleapis.com. The second step is to create a Google Cloud Storage bucket. To do this, browse to the Google Cloud Console, click on Cloud Storage, and click Create Bucket. Make sure the bucket name matches the CNAME you created for your domain. In this case, the storage bucket should be named www.example.com. The third step is to upload the files you want your website to serve. You can do this in one of 2 ways. First, by directly uploading the files using the Google Cloud Console. Or second, by using gsutil command line, which is great for when you have an existing website. Once the files are uploaded, accessing them is going to be based on how you choose to share your files. If you set the permission at the bucket level, you can easily and quickly make every file for your site publicly accessible. For file control, you can choose to set the permission at the object level so that only specific files are accessible through your website. At this point, you have a functioning static website and you could call it a day. But we recommend assigning an index page suffix and a custom error page to better guide your users. This helps in situations when a user might request a URL, but you do not have an associated file with that name in your bucket. In our example, when there isn't a file named Apple, Cloud Storage will attempt to serve an index.html. If that file also doesn't exist, Cloud Storage will return an error page with a 404 response. Now, the fourth and final step is to test our static website. Verify that the content is served from the bucket by requesting the domain name in a browser. One important thing to note here is that Google Cloud Storage only supports HTTP. In order to serve HTTPS and get all the security goodness, you need to either use direct URIs using a CNAME redirect or migrate to using a load balancer as a front end. So today, we learned how to start small and deploy a static website on Google Cloud Platform. We used Google Cloud Storage to host the static content and pointed the domain name to the storage bucket. That's all for today on Get Cooking in Cloud. Here's hoping you can whip up something great. Join us next time because we will share the recipe to host websites on managed platform Cloud Run. If you like this video, then check out our first episode as well.
So now you guys might get a glimpse, like how we can host a simple static website on Google Cloud. Uh, if you guys want, I can like explain it in very simple words too. If you got, let me explain. तो सबसे पहले मैंने जैसे बताया आपको कि स्टोरेज होती है, ठीक है। तो हम लोगों ने पहले क्या किया इसमें वीडियो में, इफ़ यू रिकॉल द वीडियो, we created a bucket to store all our files, like all our codes and all our like images that are needed to be on that website. We created the bucket with the domain name, like what will be our website. I guess everybody knows what's a domain name. So we created a bucket with the domain name. After that, we uploaded all of our codes in that bucket and made that bucket available to everyone. When you store something on Google Cloud, you can access your file with a simple URL. So what we did is that we made those data available to everyone, to the outside world. Now you can access that data with just a simple internet connection. Now, second thing, if you have noticed, there was a mention of only HTTPS traffic and load balancing. Load balancing is, if you consider it it as an example. I have an application which runs both in South Asia region and in America, in a US region. Now, someone from Europe want to access my application. How will it use how so my application is running in two different regions. First is in South Asia and second one is in US region. So what will be the best option for it? That's what cloud load balancer do. It divides your traffic so that you can experience minimum latency, so that you can access your application as fast as possible. This is what load balancing means. This is also available both in iOS in PaaS and as well as in SaaS. Now, let's move further to 30 days of Google Cloud. So, I was telling you guys earlier, every year Google organizes 30 days of Google Cloud so that in cloud readiness program, in that you guys have to perform some quick labs. Now, what is quick lab? Let me show you. Are you guys able to see my window? Okay. So in this quick lab, you will get a hands-on experience to your cloud console. Google provides 700 credits for your tasks. These are enough for your complete journey. Every lab consists of few credits. Like this lab requires 5 credits to start. So you can experience how your cloud console works. Let me show you now cloud console. So this is how your cloud console looks like. This is the dashboard where you can get your information about anything, any resource you create. In Google Cloud, you can create resources either by using the GUI that we are seeing, or either by using command prompt. I guess I do not have a billing account. So, okay. Authorization. Here, you can see that my account, my my project. This is my project, and here you can create your resources. Like we talked about compute engine, that is your infrastructure as a service. Before creating any of the resource, first you have to enable the API for that resource. I can't activate my API right now because I haven't connected any billing account to that. Yeah. So, but in quick labs, you can create your resources because you have paid that 5 credit, so they will create resource for you. Okay. Now, as of now, cloud 30 days of Google Cloud is has been announced. I will be your facilitator for this year. So if you guys have any doubt regarding 30 days of cloud, you can ask me here. If you guys do have any question. uh, if you guys have any questions, you can ask me. Like how we can join 30 days of Google Cloud. Registrations will begin soon. We will provide you information. Stay connected to our Instagram channel as well as the groups that we created for second years. Facilitators for every college there should be a facilitator. So for this year, for JIIT 128, I will be your facilitator for people of all ages. No, it is not enabled for all people. It is only for college students. After yeah, the fun fact is, if you wish to continue even after 30 days of Google Cloud, all if you complete any of the track in 30 days, Google will enroll you in associate cloud engineer certification examination course, in which you will get six access to six Coursera courses, through which you can prepare for cloud certification examination. For different cloud service providers, there are different certification examination. For like in Google itself, there are four domains, like cloud digital leader, associate cloud engineer, then we have professionals. In professionals we have seven exams, and then a fourth one which is for like 10 years plus experience. I don't remember that name, sorry. You can get up to 50% off in your associate cloud engineer certification examination. I have given the examination and passed it. So yes, I am a Google certified associate cloud engineer in GCP. So if you wish to continue your cloud journey or learn cloud, 30 days of Google Cloud is a very good platform to start with. I had started with this platform only. Uh, yeah, I am now. I will take like questions. For okay. So now I am from Chandigarh University. How? Okay. So if you are from Chandigarh University, uh, if you have a local GDSC chapter there, you can register through them or you can register through us. It's no big deal. In reference, you have to write just like JIIT 128. I am a great student and interested in. Guys, I don't know whether it is available for student or like college to school students or not. I think it's not available for school students. It is available only for college students. Okay, so I can give exam. Yeah, anyone can give the exam. There is no bound to that. If you prepare well, you can give the exam. Okay. So any further questions? Anyone? Anything? If you have any question regarding from besides from 30 days, if you have any question regarding IaaS, PaaS, or as a service, what is as a service concept? Okay, yeah, you can kind of you can join it. It is for every college student. No prior knowledge is required to join 30 days of cloud. Plus, in addition to that, there are also swags which you will get if you complete your track. There will be two tracks in 30 days of Google Cloud. First is cloud engineering track, and there will be ML and data science track. So many of students who are interested in like building ML applications, you can check. You can go with ML Cloud Tech, ML and data science track. And if you want like to be part like cloud engineer or cloud architect, so you can choose for cloud engineering track. If you complete either of the track, you will get a t-shirt from Google Cloud, a sticker pack, and a pen, like uh, pen with the mark of Google Cloud. And if you complete both the tracks, you get two t-shirts, one sticker pack, and a bag. That's the prices for last year event. uh, Prices for this year have not, uh, Prices for this year has not been announced yet, so you have to wait for the prices. Registration for 30 days of Google Cloud will begin from 27th of September. We will keep you guys posted how to join. Soon the registrations will be out. Ananya, registrations will be out in like 10 to 15 days. Facilitator has been selected for each campus. As I told earlier, I am your facilitator for this year. Okay, guys, if you don't have any questions further, I think we should end the meet. And you guys can find me at LinkedIn or on Instagram. If you have any questions, I will always available. Uh, so if I have any query, could I DM you in your Instagram? Yeah, you can DM me on Instagram or on LinkedIn. Uh, but we will be creating a WhatsApp group to attend all the queries. So yeah, but you can reach me out in personal DMs also. Okay, let's end the session. Thank you guys for joining. Have a nice day ahead. This is your speaker, Vishanjan, signing off.